All right, so I'm here with AI Driver. He's come out to meet me in San Francisco, and I'm gonna show him V12 for the first time.
Yeah, I got the Omar treatment. I got picked up in a Waymo to get here, man. Thanks for that.
Yeah,
It's the first time in a Waymo.
I gave him his first driverless ride, which, you know, is obviously incredible every time everyone experiences it. And yeah, so we'll see what he says about V12. Some people have said, okay, you're saying V12 is good, but you always say every update's good. So I don't believe you. Well, now we've got another person. Let's see what they say when we try V12 for the first time. So where should we go? See where it goes.
I'd rather have a place where I know it can pull over.
So you can see the max speed is set to auto. So it comes up with its own speed now, rather than you setting the speed up or down. So if I set the speed up or down, it doesn't do anything. It's just entirely figuring out itself.
I'm noticing the visualizations seem to be, like the cars seem to be running at a lower frame rate than version 11. And there's
I made the same observation.
Oh, okay.
All right, so it's kind of hanging out here.
And there's also no path until it decides it wants to. I heard you talk about that too, but it's kind of crazy to see.
Okay. Oh.
Yeah, somebody went over their line. Good job being patient, I suppose. Something very similar
But then it takes off.
Yeah, this is what, man.
Yeah, it's way improved on the stop signs. Because it actually goes when it's clear to go.
Yeah, I actually had a similar experience to that in the Waymo that I filmed, where a car pulled out in front of it and it did basically the same thing.
Right, yeah. Waymo is also, I think, trained end-to-end. All right, so we got a pedestrian, but then they decided to go this way. So it's got to wait for them to cross. It starts creeping a little bit while they're crossing. Yeah, I mean, this is like a 444, so a lot of people traveling, you know, walking on the street, ton of pedestrians at this time. Dogs, kids.
Yeah, absolutely. I used FSD 11 the whole way here. So, I mean, I know you have a pretty good understanding of how that works.
It's much more robotic.
Yeah.
A lot of harsh braking and stopping and kind of just unnatural driving.
Yeah, so far this is feeling pretty smooth. I really like the brake to come up to a stop sign.
It's very smooth in the way it stops and goes. The stop sign experience is just dramatically improved. It stops, make sure it's clear, then it goes.
That was a really nice stop.
Yeah.
It's hard to convey this stuff over video because people see the car stopping, but
yeah, it looks mostly the same, but it feels completely different.
I've given a lot of people rides in my car. And one thing...
And then see how that woman was walking? Normally it would like slam on the brakes if it saw her.
But it would slam on the brakes and then creep up to the stop.
Right. But it was very gentle.
Yeah. I feel like, let's see. There's another car approaching here.
So this is one of the things I've kind of noticed is it's a little bit hesitant. Like sometimes like this, it kind of just needs an accelerator press. Actually, I've noticed an issue where if there's a stop sign, but there's a traffic light at the next intersection, sometimes it stops and won't go until the light turns green. So like they called me, they're like, hey, this is kind of an early build. It's got some issues, but you know, we wanted to send it to you anyway.
Yeah, I was actually surprised when I read that. The only other time they've called people before they released it was when FSD Beta originally released.
Exactly. That's what it felt like. It felt like the first release. And I mean, I was shocked. You know, I was just sitting there. I did not expect to get a call that, hey, we're sending you FSD 12.
I can't begin to explain how envious I am of you.
Well, apparently it's going to go out to everyone within a few weeks, so hopefully they stick to that schedule because it is overall just a major improvement.
Ooh. All right. That was really good.
That's where FSD Beta 11 would stop in the middle of the intersection.
It would have stopped in the crosswalk for sure. That was really nice.
I know, see? Dude. This update fixes so many things.
Yeah.
And like people are commenting like, I don't think it's better. You're just saying that. I'm like, you guys are so stupid. It literally improves so many different things. And then this was another issue on this street where there's a traffic light over there that's red, and it would always read that and just randomly stop in the middle of this street. Like, so, and it doesn't do that anymore. So like, you know, you can see that traffic light over there on the other side. Not that one, but you can see it's like green right now, the green arrow. So yeah, that one's the traffic light for people who are turning left over there, but it would always see it red and then it would stop. And then now it just drives straight through. So many things that just didn't make sense as driving maneuvers, it just doesn't do.
Yeah.
And I was driving to Burlingame to try the new Model 3, like most natural merge onto the highway I've ever seen. And, you know, it just nailed it. So yeah, see this? It would read that red light and then it would just stop right here, which is kind of like the worst. You got this curve and people are coming.
Look at this like follow distance.
Look at this lane change.
Yeah.
Look at this lane change.
Okay, it was still smooth. Like, I'm expecting with beta, you get a hard brake. Like, it'll do the things. It'll do all the things, but it
doesn't do that. It's so much more comfortable.
Wow.
And yeah, that's what I'm saying is like the comfort and the harshness is probably the biggest reason why people didn't want to use it.
We need a G-force meter in here.
Yeah.
Like, we really, because I give a lot of people rides. You know, they see my videos and they want rides, and the number one surprise they have is how how rough it is.
Check out this speed bump.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. No more going over the speed bump too fast.
I'm doing my best to look at this with a critical eye. It's hard not to like fanboy out over here. I've been looking forward to
it's fucking good.
So long.
It's fucking good. And this is the first version that they don't feel comfortable rolling out.
It never just that.
Yeah, look at how natural that was.
It never stops.
Yeah.
It just keeps like wow. I hope we get more.
And look at this. It's kind of cautious. It saw those guys by the crosswalk, but it didn't do like a hard stop.
Yeah, the harsh stuff is.
Yeah, much less harsh stuff.
Nice little U-turn there. Maybe version 13 for that one.
Yeah. All right, let's see where we're going here.
But like, I hate to say it, but like this is what I feel like what full self-driving version 1 like should feel like.
Yeah. This is what it was supposed to be.
The mistakes it's making so far are due to caution. It's not like, whoa, what the hell are you doing?
Yeah.
It's like overly cautious, which is forgivable. Like I can totally forgive it for stopping at a stop sign for too long. But like some of the mistakes version 11 has been making, especially on the last update or two for me around where I live, has been like not cautious mistakes.
Right. No, I think I can just imagine when this thing gets dialed in, it's going to be so good.
Yeah, and I see a few apply light first. I think that's like the second or third time you've touched the wheel, right? I was expecting a lot more nags.
Yeah. I mean, they said they're really turning the nag up to 11 and they're going to roll it back. See, this is where it's tough because like nobody. All right, so this is
nobody stops. None of these people have actually. Okay, this is the first car that's actually came to a stop. Oh, see, and it's like, I feel like, I hate to say this, but I feel like the government cut the balls off of version 12. Like when I was watching Elon's live stream and it was just cruising through stop signs.
Accelerator push.
Yeah.
But yeah, it is a little bit hesitant still, but I mean, I think they're kind of just erring on the side of caution a little bit. For sure. And as they kind of validate it, I think it'll probably require less of those accelerator pushes.
Yeah, for sure. But coming to full stops at stop signs, like that person didn't, like nobody around me ever does, even when they say they do. This is interesting.
So we're stopped again.
Yeah.
Oh, I think it was because of that traffic light issue, maybe.
But these are way more comfortable mistakes. Like,
right, it doesn't do.
I'd rather have it do this.
It doesn't do some just like crazy, let me just jerk the wheel left or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it trying to do here?
Yeah, I notice a little hesitation from some stop
and it has
signs.
this is another, it's like,
oh, the turn signals!
But
no.
It has I mean, it usually is pretty good about the turn signals, but it has this one random bug where it like leaves things on.
Pick?
I don't know.
Right.
We're about to find out. Yeah, it looks like just some parking lot or something, maybe. I don't know.
Oh, good. I'm excited to see parking lot stuff.
Notice how it paused a little when we went through that road?
Yeah. Also notice the occupancy network isn't displaying anything. Like usually those fences would show up, which is interesting.
very gentle around people.
God, this feels so good. Have you done much parking lot testing with it?
Not too much. I mean, I really haven't had it for that long, so.
Yeah, I'd love to see you stress test it through like a Costco parking lot or something.
Yeah, I need to go to Costco, you're right. Somebody mentioned that. Alright, let's see what it does here. Just gonna stop, I guess. Okay. I was hoping you might go park.
I can't find a handicap spot, so
yeah, exactly.
It's like I'm out of here.
Alright, let's drop a new pin somewhere. Maybe, Presidio Golf Course. Presidio Golf Course.
It almost looked like it wanted to turn around.
I know.
There. Like,
yeah.
Like a 3-point turn.
Right. Alright, so we got a car pulling out. Is this even a road?
I was thinking the same thing.
Not 100% sure, but...
Oh, I'm sorry to take your car off-roading here. It looks so nice and clean.
FSD off-roading mode. Okay, so it looks like it's creeping a little bit. Maybe... I noticed when it doesn't have good visibility, it is very hesitant, which is kind of a bug, but also kind of, I think, a promising sign. Like, that it's just really aware of when it has visibility. I think these are roads. All right. Okay, so
I'm not used to it.
Here's a bike lane, so we got to make sure it doesn't go in the bike lane. Oh, that's not good.
All right, yeah, there was a bike lane that's painted very similarly to a road over here.
Yeah,
literally has.
No, I mean, so that's I think the bike lane, but I think it was like looked like it was trying to get into this area here.
Yeah.
But I think it probably would have corrected itself, but you know, didn't want it to drive into those pillar things or something. So I took over. All right.
The smoothness is something that's so hard to convey.
Yeah, it's a big comfort improvement. I think we got a roundabout up there.
Very cautious at stop signs, though.
Yeah, I feel like it's being a little more cautious than it usually is today. I don't know what's going on. Maybe because of this giant boat. I don't know. Right, there we go. Yeah, but then when it decides to go, it goes.
Yeah. I like that it's, I'm going to try my best to explain kind of like what it feels like. Instead of having, I feel like version 11 has different accelerator inputs, where sometimes it's like accelerating slow and then it'll decide quick and then it'll decide slow again, and you can feel that transition. But with this one, it feels like it's
Look at this,
ramping.
a Waymo, a Rivian, and a Tesla on FSD 12. And another Waymo. We're really living in the future here.
Yeah.
But yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Exactly right.
It's like a ramp, like a human foot pushing the pedal.
Yeah.
And
I mean, that's what it's trained on, a human foot pushing a pedal.
Yeah, that's so true. It's also trained on the only humans who actually stop at stop signs, so no wonder it's doing such a terrible job.
Right, yeah. It's literally trained,
but
the stop sign is trained on like someone's grandma, right?
Just the people that come to full stops.
Yeah. Yeah, no wonder it's so skittish. Now this one, FSD 11, would always go just a little bit over the line and like stop in the crosswalk, and now it doesn't do that. Or actually, no, it was the next one that FSD 11 used to do that on. But it doesn't do that. I drove through it before. Really smooth, right?
Yeah, it's just like those tiny corrections. Like, like this is so good.
And then look at this cars. Is like kind of confusing because there's only one lane, but it's a two-way.
Not paying attention to the lines at all. My God, this is great. This is so good. But that little correction, like when the car started approaching the stop sign.
But look, and now it's getting out and leaving the bike lane now.
This is crazy.
Yeah, it's really good.
The little things like that, like, really impressed me.
Yeah, like, it's not quite ready to go out yet. It's got a couple things, but it's, you know, really close, actually. And the issues aren't, like, kind of scary disengagements. It's just kind of like, okay, let me give it an accelerator press. It's being a little bit slow, but, you know, overall. Okay, so here we got some people crossing.
Yeah, and traffic from both sides.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's creeping a little bit.
I feel like, oh man, it's tough to form an opinion off of such a small time, like in the car with no actual like seat time, but I feel like this is going to push people to actually like a lot of my buddies, pretty much all like real drivers, like they drive on tracks and stuff, don't like beta. Like, oh, I don't trust it, man. Like if it does, and especially older people, if it does one wrong thing, it like phantom brakes or like has like they're like, oh, I don't trust it anymore. Like you've lost my trust.
Yeah.
And right now, like it hasn't. I mean, I don't know. This is. It's more like I feel like an old person could use this.
Yeah.
You know?
With the end to end, it's possible to really be a consumer grade product that people don't get afraid of and uncomfortable with and just annoyed with. I mean, even
an car coming. Okay. Well, I mean, it yelled at us, but I was hoping to see it move over for. I really want to see how early
it did drive on the line.
Oh no, yeah, it did. But I want to see like one complaint that I have with version 11 is it will offset for pedestrians, but it does so pretty late, and the people are like, "What are you doing? Are you going to give me room?" You know, like it'll eventually do it, but very nice.
There is one street I usually try with a bunch of pedestrians. We could see how it does.
Yeah, if you wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't want to take all your time, man. I want to at least do a drive.
Oh,
where we're following each other.
Oh yeah, let's definitely do that.
God, that was good. Right on the power again. Here we go.
Yeah. Yeah, huge improvement on speed bumps. It is both better at recognizing the speed bumps. FSD 11 would sometimes just completely miss the speed bump. And it's also, I really wanted it to go in there. Let's see if I can get it going there.
Another parking lot.
So there's like this white thing here. Don't want to hit that. Very good.
The way there's no hesitation.
Yeah,
it's
just natural. Like that was a little weird.
Trying to figure out where it's.
Yeah,
it's like a lost human right now.
No, it's interesting. It tries to like get to the pin. It's kind of interesting what it does to try and get to the pin sometimes.
Yeah, it pulled up to the curb, but...
Yep. Alright, so here's the one place I go. And then we'll head back and we'll do a drive with your car. You have a hardware 3 or hardware 4?
Hardware 4.
Okay, perfect. So, and you got a Model S too, right?
Model Y, actually.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, the Model S I had is still on hardware 3.
Okay. Okay, so we got 2 hardware 4 cars, a Model Y and a Model S.
Still not coming to a complete stop. We're like behind a pedestrian.
Yeah. So it's really natural with just handling that kind of stuff.
She's like walking into our path, but it's still, oh my God.
Yeah.
It's the small things.
No.
With version 12, it's all about the
that's
small
not
things.
A small thing for me, because in San Francisco, there's always people walking. FSD Beta would drive me nuts, just stopping for people, waiting for them to cross completely, like acting like a robot, slamming on the brakes around them. Now it's just natural. Okay, here's a good test of the sort of occupancy network that's internal to it.
Yeah.
Because we got to really slip through
Yeah, it has to kind of make a wider turn than usual here to get through there.
Yeah, it has to slip through 2 billiards or whatever you call those things sticking up in the road. So let's see what it does. Come on. Oh. Okay, that didn't look too good.
Occupancy network's gone, man.
Yeah, I kind of felt, and FSD 11 did that one very well, but it kind of felt like it was a little too close to the sign on the left side there.
Yeah, for sure. I have moments like that still with the occupancy network, but
no, FSD 11 could do that that exit out of the parking lot perfectly. So I mean, there are little regressions like that, but, you know, I expect that this framework is more than capable of handling that type of thing. If you know, if 11 can do it, I think 12 can do it too, even better. Getting in and out of parking lots seems to be kind of a weak spot, at least in this drive.
Yeah, it's hard to... I would say that this is for sure the path forward. Although, like, I'm happy that I'm seeing mistakes that it's making to, like, have a more realistic expectation when it comes to my car. But, God, this feels like the way forward. Like, after you experience this, like, version 11's never going to feel the same for me.
I mean, this thing makes version 11 look like a total joke.
Yeah, this is something like when I'm using like when the dogs are in the back of my car, I don't use FSD.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Or when my parents are riding with me, like I don't use it. It's this is gonna, this could actually
because pedestrians comment when you have those harsh moments. They're like, "Geez, what was that?" You know?
Yeah, yeah. Especially if you're somebody who you're used to driving your own car your entire life, and you feel it do something that you're not used to.
Right.
Okay, okay, that was pretty good. Those are the situations that are like so rough when two people come to a stop at the exact same time.
No, it's so much better on four-way stops. It'll just go. You know how version 11 would like wait 2 turns and stuff like that, and you know, there might be like a ton of people going before you have a chance to. This one just goes at the right time most of the time in my testing so far.
I love how
you see how quick that was,
and it's not paying attention to the lines.
Yeah,
like we're kind of like biased to the right
lines are a suggestion.
Yeah, just like they are for humans.
All right, so this is like the super challenge with this this street here going up to the Golden Gate Bridge. You have like a ton of people walking, cars, bikes, everybody sharing it. So I always go there to test like pedestrian handling and stuff, but this is a very challenging one. So smooth.
Yeah, racing line through these corners, inside out.
Yeah.
And I've noticed that like when it makes the turn, the steering wheel is like smooth through the turn, like it stops.
Right.
Like if you look, like it turns to a certain point and it stops. And it stays there, like, you know, like it should, instead of like micro correcting
like a human
the whole time.
Yeah, it just has a much more human feel, and it really just brings your stress level down. You're just comfortable because it just feels like your brain's not raising that red flag, like, something's a little off here.
Yeah. Oh, I hate driving in San Francisco regardless.
Right.
Like even on my way here today, there's, you know, people almost running into each other and honking. Like
it's a total shit show. Yeah,
it really is.
I mean, that's why this has become like the self-driving capital of the world, because it's just such a shit show. You couldn't ask for more weird challenges: hills, people walking, cycling, someone on a unicycle going backwards, you know, someone in like a bear costume. This was another issue where FSD 11 would always try and go into this side lane here, which isn't really a lane, but because it thought it has to turn right, it would go into that lane on the right side, which is really actually a bike lane. And then, you know, if a cyclist came, then it's blocking them. So, and then it was also just close to that metal railing, which was uncomfortable. So this one just does the right thing. Like, so many different separate categories of issues. We've never seen anything like this. You know, every update, people are like, it's the same, it still has my issue. This is the first one where it actually just fixes such a wide range of issues that it's the biggest update ever.
I would say that is certain without a doubt.
So, okay, we're going to turn right into here. It's much more gentle. It used to really come in here fast before. Now, very chill. Much quicker. He used to go down this super slowly. Now it's just totally natural.
Yeah, like, I'll take the issues that I've seen so far any day.
I feel like this is kind of a bad drive compared to what I normally have been seeing.
Oh yeah, well I mean,
most of my drives have been like zero intervention point to point.
Yeah, I'm glad. On our way back, can we try to make it go through that area right there where you're not allowed to turn?
Mm-hmm.
I'm curious.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like.
All right, so check this out. We got all these people walking here. Tell me what you think of the pedestrian offsetting.
Yeah, it's so far so good. I feel like version 11 would have went around those first couple and then went back to the right side of the road, like it is right now, and then gone back to the center when it sees the second one.
Yeah, you're right.
That's what makes people uncomfortable.
Yeah.
This one just stays on course.
Right. See, it looks like it's slowing down because it sees this guy.
Yeah, there's no way around him right now unless you want to do some crazy stuff. Oh man. Oh, we're here, I guess. It's pulling off.
Lombard Garage. Wanted to hit that stuff. All right, let's see what it does here.
Oh, it has a U-turn?
Yeah, I mean, we got to turn around. I mean, it's not really a U-turn. It's more just...
oh, okay. Yeah, it's going around. This thing hasn't developed sentience and shifted itself into reverse yet, huh?
No.
Not yet?
That's, you know, it needs the reverse, because here's the thing about it. It can go from curb to curb and pull over, and then you can just punch in another destination and it'll keep going. But the one thing it can't do is reverse. If it, you know, there's something in front of it, obviously, then it's just stuck.
Mm-hmm.
So it's about time for them to add that reverse function in. All right. It's kind of interesting. The lane's over there.
Yeah, the lane just ends right here.
Okay, so it is signaling to get back in, which I think is good.
All right, pinch point with another car.
Yep, and we got some construction on the right.
Like, no harsh braking, though.
Yep. Just completely smooth, yeah.
Okay, we're hugging the right a little bit. This is a good test of the offset.
Yeah, we got a pedestrian coming.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I would have probably been in the middle of the road right now, but we also have pedestrians to our left, so...
Yeah. Yeah, I probably would have moved over a little more myself. Yeah. But not, you know, terrible.
No, definitely not. This is so awesome, man. Thanks.
Yeah, of
Thanks
course.
for this. It's one thing to watch the videos, but
I mean, I heard they're going to be sending it out to more people this weekend.
oh, man,
Maybe.
you got the hookup, man.
It's a rumor.
You got my phone number now.
Send me your VIN. I'll ask them to send it to you too.
Done and done, man. I heard, like, I have blocked or like unknown numbers completely turned off from my phone, and I disable all that shit as soon as you I was like, oh my god, they might have called me.
Yeah, me too. I have silence unknown calls, and then it went to voicemail, and then I got a text. Hey, please, this is Tesla. Please call us back as soon as possible.
Oh, okay, that's good news then.
At first, I thought I was like in trouble or something. I was like, oh shit, what did I do? Then they're like, we're sending you FSC. Like, I couldn't believe it. It was like something out of a dream.
Yeah, for real. I would have pinched myself for sure.
I know. And because normally it's like, you know, if you remember, okay, here we got I saw a jogger. So it did a good job of stopping. So if you remember, like, the early days, it would be like Elon tweeting, you know, version 6 is coming next week on Friday. Yeah, it has
this guy's coming
very slowly.
He doesn't have a stop sign, does he? Yeah, he's coming really slow, and it's also kind of obstructed.
Yeah.
A bit. Although the B pillar might actually have a better view than we have because it can see behind that bush.
Yeah, let's see. I'll give it an accelerator pedal if it doesn't go soon.
There's another
but there's,
one.
you know, traffic, so.
There it is.
But
it's either really good at detecting traffic or it's being a bit hesitant right now. Looks like it is too hesitant.
Yeah, let me give it a push. because there is a guy behind us now. But I've seen it do that once before, but yeah, it is hesitant. Like, hesitancy is one of the top 3 issues that I'm seeing with this early build.
Yeah, but hesitancy, totally forgivable. Like,
I mean, I'd rather it be hesitant than overly excited.
Exactly. And
I'm fully expecting that to be dialed in.
The thing is, with version 11, is it feels like many different drivers. Sometimes it's overly cautious, sometimes it's underly cautious, and it's never like, I can go through the same intersection many times and the behavior seems to be different throughout.
Right,
but
yeah.
So far on this one, it feels like, I hate to give the car a personality, but like, even the disengagements and stuff, like, okay, you kind of like know the limit. It kind of reminds me of, oh man, this is going to be weird to say, but it kind of reminds me of a vastly upgraded Autopilot 1.
Right, yeah.
Where they just had that single camera, but God, was it smooth? You know
Right,
what I
yeah.
mean? Like on the freeway.
Yeah.
And then Hardware 2 came out and it was kind of herky-jerky. Hardware 1 still like is super smooth. A lot of people that I know when they try Hardware 1 are like, holy shit, like this is actually really good. And this feels like, I don't know, I guess that's weird to say, you know, it's not, Hardware 1 obviously isn't nearly as capable, but just the smoothness.
Yeah, I mean, Mobileye had a really smooth kind of driving experience. I mean, that's what really originally got me into Tesla, was Mobileye Autopilot 1 when I tried that on a Model S. And I said, oh my God, this is, you know, this is potentially big. I mean, it was obviously very simple back then. It was just lane keeping assist and it wasn't very good. But to see how it's evolved over the years is just insane. To the point where it can now do like full drives. I kind of imagined it, but it's crazy that we actually have it now.
Yeah. When you really scope out and look at the progress over time, it's really quite astounding. You know, we're so like, after a couple weeks after a beta update is released, everybody's like, oh, that's old now, it's boring, like this needs to be fixed, this needs to be fixed. But like, when you really take a step back and like just take a look at what it's become.
Right. And the fact that you got people all across the country using it, putting it through all kinds of situations, different types of streets. I mean, there's so many different types of roads.
Yeah, that's why I genuinely feel like this is the proper path forward.
Yeah.
Now that I'm like in the car, there's no doubt in my mind.
This is the only way forward.
Don't get me wrong, it still could take a long time to fully get there. Like this feels close, but there's still a lot of, you know.
We only have one data point so far.
Yeah, exactly.
It'll be interesting to see how quickly it improves. I think it feels like this approach should allow them to improve much more quickly, but we'll have to see when we get that second update how it really does. That was really smooth with the guy cutting in front of us. 11 probably would have braked a little hard for that.
Yeah, I keep trying not to just say it's really smooth over and over, but it feels way more like a human's behind the wheel. Little hesitancy here, so I don't see any surrounding traffic.
Okay, there's a guy behind us, so I'm gonna have to push the accelerator.
Yeah.
And then normally I'm not pushing the accelerator. Maybe it's because it's like heavy traffic time right now or something, and I haven't driven as much during this time. But I feel like I'm pushing the accelerator a little more than usual. But yeah, hesitancy's generally been one of the top 3 issues, along with that traffic light issue where it stops at the stop sign until the light turns green. I've also seen, more safety critical disengagements, like for example, what we saw with the the sign. I would consider that a safety critical, even though we probably wouldn't have been hurt, but anything, touching anything. Yeah,
hitting stuff is generally a no-no.
Right. And like I said, with version 11, it would have done that just fine. The occupancy network there is really refined. So that's why I'm saying there's actually more of those safety critical things than I was seeing with 11. But, overall, I'll take the overall experience of V12. They said, look, this is an early build, whatever. I said, I don't care. I just want to try it. And, I'm not sure how long it'll take them to get to, like, surpassing a V11 level.
Nice job. Yeah. Power. Wow.
Yeah.
That car was already, like, about to make its way into the intersection. It just powered through. That was great.
Yeah, and V11 would always stop in the middle of the roundabout.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. I'm not sure if this is the right place to make the left.
Perfect.
I think
I would love to see it genuinely make some like wrong turns and just see how.
See,
okay, yeah.
That was probably illegal. But
yeah, it still has its left turn signal on too. That's hilarious.
But I have seen it do that where sometimes it'll get in the wrong lane, but then it'll stay on track rather than following the lane. And that's something that FSD 11 actually used to do, but then they kind of smoothed that out, and then it started just following the lane.
Yeah.
So that may be something they need more training data for.
For sure. That was actually part of the
recall,
NHTS, the recall,
right.
Which is really interesting because I'm sure they could just go in there and manually program it to...
Well, what they need to do is they need to show it examples where the navigation is telling it to go straight, but it's in a left turn lane, and then show the people just turning left or turning right or doing whatever.
Yeah, it's definitely going to need a ton more data. But God, like, it's undeniable that
this is obviously the path forward.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's funny, you got Mobileye now arguing that, like, end-to-end is never going to work, and they did the whole, like, CES presentation on it. And it's like, I think you guys are wrong on this one. You know, they're doing end-to-end. They're saying end-to-end's the way to go. Tesla obviously has developed a very impressive end-to-end system here.
Yeah.
I think this is going to be it.
5 years ago, you were to tell somebody what AI is capable of right now, and they would have called you insane.
Yeah.
So I don't think people underestimate where we are and kind of where we're going with AI, because there's no putting cats out of the bag. There's no putting it. It's only going to get better and more refined. And when it can start doing things itself,
that's nuts.
It's gonna be. It scares me, man. Literally, it keeps me up at night. I think AI is probably going to be as big or bigger than like the internet. And people you talk to people and they have no idea what's going on. Zero. Like, oh, I heard you can cheat on quizzes in school. It's like you have no idea.
Yeah, people really don't get it. I mean, there's going to be computers moving around the world without us for the first time, going places, doing things. Just by looking at the world, and they'll understand how to move through it.
Tough one here.
Not for FSD 12.
Wow. So good.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow is right. I've never seen an update like this that has so many improvements. All right, let's tell it to actually take us here.
Man, getting in my car is just not going to be the same.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see how your 11 car with hardware 4 compares to my car on a 12.
Oh, I can almost tell you for sure. Like, I was gonna put up the metrics. I mean, I still am going to, but I'm gonna do my best to do the drive like you, and like with no steering wheel input, and see how many nags you get versus how many nags I get, and accelerator inputs and disengagements and all that. But it doesn't even. I mean, of course it matters. You know what I mean? Like, it matters how many disengagements and accelerator inputs, but God, I'd take, if this had double the disengagements, I'd take this over it.
Yeah.
Because it feels like such a vast step forward. It's so comfortable.
It just does the right thing. It makes me think of that old Apple phrase in the jobs era. You'd say, it just works. That's FSD 12. It just works. Okay, not 100% of the time.
Exactly. There's a few things. Getting rid of the occupancy network definitely has a little bit of side effects.
I mean, it's got its own occupancy network internalized.
Sure.
But it's a different model. Yeah. They're throwing away the old occupancy network, and they've got this new thing. But a lot of those situations where it just didn't work, now it just works. A lot of things where you look at it and go, oh, FSD beta can't do that. It just works. All right, watch this. You got a stopped mail truck. You got fast moving traffic. Watch what happens here. Oh, it's pulling over.
Didn't expect that.
Well, I think there's a pin here. Or like the old pin was there.
Oh, it's going to like the first destination and then
Yeah.
the second one? Oh, that's interesting.